Are you a fan of playing mobile games or games on the go? Well, this channel is not about that, but this video is. You know, every so often something comes out that's so incredible, so interesting, that I just want to share it. Now, that's what this video is about. You'll see it in a moment. You know, there are some pretty incredible portable systems available these days that play AAA titles on the go. And these more powerful games require more powerful systems. And we've seen everything over the years, from little portable systems with small little screens, all the way to modern systems with greater system resources and larger screens. The latest Switch 2 is an incredibly advanced system. It has a wonderful display and it plays some amazing games. Now, the Switch 2 can also be a great home system. If you're playing it at home, it allows you to connect to an external screen with the Nintendo dock and then play on a much larger screen. But what if I told you that there is a way to not only have that large screen at home, but to take it with you wherever you go? Hello, my name is Frank and this is Blossom, and here on Learning and Technology with Frank and Blossom, we look at how we can use technology to learn, teach, and be more productive. But today, we're going to look at having some fun. Nintendo has long been one of my favorite video game companies. I've been a gamer from the days of the arcade, and I distinctly remember the day that the arcade game Donkey Kong arrived at my local arcade, the Electric Circus. I even remember exactly where it was in the arcade. Even though I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, I do remember that. Now, of course, Nintendo has created many of the most iconic games and game systems over the years. I think I've had most of them, and I've played a lot of Nintendo games. It's a great way to relax between study sessions, and I have to say something about learning here. But anyways, the new Switch 2 is everything I love about Nintendo games and Nintendo hardware. I've been enjoying the new games, and I'm excited for many more to come in the future. But there are two challenges that the system has. First, I do like the larger screen on the Switch 2. I think it's great, but I like playing on even larger screens, like a TV, which of course is, I can't carry around with me a large TV. The built-in display is fantastic and quite large, but once you get used to playing video games on a TV, even the largest screen on a portable device becomes too small. And the second thing is, sometimes I like to play in areas where I don't want people around me to watch or listen to what I'm playing. I want some privacy. For example, on a plane or if I'm commuting. While I do play the newest games, I also have a great fondness for old retro games. And I don't need people seeing me playing the original Donkey Kong. Not that I'm embarrassed about playing the best game ever invented, but because I don't want anyone to feel bad about their terrible scores compared to mine. I'm considerate that way. And that's where these come into play. These are the VITURE Luma Pro XR glasses. And using the VITURE dock, I'm able to connect these up to my Switch 2 and have effectively a 152-inch screen right in front of me while I'm playing games. But it's also a private display, and I have audio in the arms here so that I can listen to the game, play the game, I don't disturb anybody around me, and I can still hear what's going on. So for example, if I'm at an airport waiting to board my flight, I can hear boarding announcements and such. They're really incredible. It's very hard to convey that in a video without having them, on your face. So the idea though is that by having this private display and such a large display, those AAA titles especially are so much more fun to play. Games like Cyberpunk or the Donkey Kong, the new Donkey Kong that's just come out, or even the old retro games, I do like seeing them in super large format. It just makes them a little more fun, breathes a new life into them. But all of these games are just better because I have my own private, basically home theater experience with those games. Now, let's take a look at how I set them up so that I can play them on my Switch 2, and then I'll talk a little bit about some things that I can do with that VITURE dock that are even more incredible. It's a pretty useful little tool. Let's have a look at setting these up now. So the key is to take the dock by VITURE, and this dock, if you do get one, you want to make sure you're running the latest firmware to work with the Switch 2. And you'll see that we have a color-coded here. This is the Switch. We'll connect it into the Switch itself, the Switch 2. And now the signal will go from the Switch into this device. We'll take it from that device, connect up the VITURE Luma Pro glasses here. This will go into the USB-C out for the dock. So you can see we have that here. And now my Nintendo Switch is going to be on the OLED screens here, and I'll have a 152-inch screen. That's how simple it is to set up. Not only can I have the Switch playing here, if you can see inside these glasses a little bit here, maybe you can see that because my glasses are attached, but I can also, if I have a USB-C output, I could put it out to a USB screen, for example. I have it on this large screen. So now anything that I'm playing on the Switch, I'll be able to see here on the VITURE glasses, and I have the output to a USB-C device. This, of course, could also be a second set of glasses if I have another pair of glasses, or even if I have a different pair of glasses from before, I can have two players with glasses, or if I want people to see what I'm doing, I can have them watch me play Donkey Kong. I can even go in here and circle. The greatest game ever created is right here. It's Donkey Kong. Best ever game. Now, connecting up to the Switch 2 is a great use for this dock, and it's the only dock that allows you at this point to connect up a pair of XR glasses to the Switch 2. But it's more than just that. It's also a power bank, so you can use that to charge the Switch 2 and provide power for the displays in the glasses. And it also has an HDMI input port, which means if you have a PS5 or if you have an Xbox, any other type of gaming system that has HDMI out that's intended to go to a large TV, well, you can have it go to your glasses or multiple pairs of glasses. That's pretty cool. And if any of those companies like Steam Deck or Rogue or any of the PS5, if any of those companies want to send me their consoles so that I can test them for my audience, feel free to send me those consoles. I'm joking, obviously. I'm not holding my breath on that. But the idea is that any HDMI output source can be put onto the glasses. And that has a lot of different possibilities, including some that are on theme for this channel around learning and technology, because we might be able to take some HDMI output from, say, a DVD player or a Blu-ray player, and students would be able to watch documentaries and educational films on the glasses. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So the idea is that with this dock and with these glasses, we open up new possibilities of how we interact with information and entertainment. And I think that experimenting with them and seeing how they work, it's something that I'm excited to do more of. And you know, I'm excited to play good old Donkey Kong. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you'll watch some of my other videos. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you're thinking of subscribing, maybe check out some of my other videos first to see if the channel really has more videos that you're interested in besides this one special gaming edition of Learning and Technology with Frank. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to go find Blossom and make sure she has lots of cat treats.